Hi. You know, as a former personal trainer and now nutrition counselor and actually virtual personal trainer, one of the exercises that I think is the most effective, gets you a lot of bang for your buck, I guess, is squats. I mean, squats, they work your whole entire leg, they work your glutes, they work your abs because you have to hold yourself in support and everything. But the biggest thing I hear from everybody is two things. Number one, I can't do squats. I'm not capable. And number two, they hurt my knees, I can't do it. Or I have bad knees, I can't do it. I have bad hips, I can't do it. Well, a lot of what happens from squats, the reason you can't do it is because you're doing them incorrectly. I see so many people's forms. So I'm going to show you the proper form for a squat. And I'm going to do it barefoot. I'm going to go ahead and get up. I'm going to do this barefoot because I want you to see a little trick that I've learned that helps you keep track of what. Because what usually happens is people, when they do their squat incorrectly, is what they're doing is they're putting too much weight on the front of their foot. When you think of a squat, think about, for those of you who tell me you can't do a squat, are you sitting down in a chair? Do you go from standing to sitting down in a chair? Because technically that is a squat. And that's actually what you want to think about when you're doing a squat, is I'm sitting down in a chair. You're going back to sit down in a chair. You're not coming forward. When you sit down in a chair, you don't sit down like this. You sit down like this. You put your rear end back so that you can get your rear end to that chair. So when you do a squat, there's some things you want to make sure is look at your feet. Make sure they're pointed straight ahead. Make sure your knees are over your feet. Make sure everything is in alignment to start. Belly button is supporting your spine. Shoulders are backing down. Pretend you're talking to somebody straight ahead of you. So what that means is when you're talking to somebody straight ahead of you, you're not going to go like this. Because you're not talking to the floor. You're talking to the person in front of you. And you're going to sit down. Now, one of the things, the reason I said I was going to do this barefoot is if you look at my toes. My big toes are lifted. Why? Because if I lift my big toes, my knees can't go here. The minute my knees go here, my toes have to come down, and now my weight's on the knees. My knees are supporting all of this. Whereas if you come back here, you've got that alignment right here. That's supporting, so you have the bone structure supporting it, and your muscles are working, but you're not putting pressure on that knee joint so bad that they have to support your entire weight. If you look like this, also, what I'm not doing is this. If you look at my back is now not supported. Belly button in, shoulders are back, you're looking straight ahead, sit back as if you're going to sit in a chair. In fact, let me grab a chair real quick. For those of you who have issues, said you can't do a squat and get a chair. Stand slightly in front of it. Remember the form I told you about. Sit down on the edge of that chair and stand back up. The focus of where the pressure is going is in your heels. Sit back. If you feel your weight on your balls of your feet, that means your knees are going to come forward. You're going to hurt yourself. Going like this. You're going to come back and fall into it. Okay? So let's try that. Just standing straight up, straight down. Sit in a chair. Then when you get that step forward, sit in that chair even though the chair is not there. Notice my chest still points ahead. I can still talk to people. My big toes are lifted. My knees are not past my toes, so they're supported. My shoulders are back. My belly button is supporting my spine. And I drive through my heels to stand back up. That's the proper way to do a squat, and you're far less likely to injure yourself when you do it correctly. So let's go squat.